The sun dipped low over a quiet Texas town, casting hues of amber and crimson across the horizon as Ethan Caldwell steered into the weathered gas station off Route 46. His stomach growled, empty all day, while his 5-year-old son Liam slumbered in the back seat of their aging Chevy pickup. The engine sputtered to a stop, and a heavy stillness settled in. It was the kind of quiet that wraps around a man burdened by too many worries. Ethan had just been let go from his third job in 6 months, and with every ticking hour, the dread of letting his son down carved deeper into his heart. But he was about to encounter something so profound, so deeply human, it would reshape everything he understood about hardship, endurance, and selflessness. Before we go on, if you cherish kindness, second chances, and the strength of empathy, please pause to like this video. Share it with someone craving hope, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories. Stories like these need to be shared, and your support keeps them alive. As Ethan climbed out of the truck, stretching his aching limbs and wiping his weary eyes, he noticed them. 3 small children, barefoot and caked in dust, stood at the edge of the gas station lot. Their clothes were threadbare, hanging on their tiny frames like echoes of brighter times. A girl, perhaps 6 or 7, with long golden hair tied with a tattered ribbon, clutched the hand of a younger girl whose face seemed to have forgotten joy. Beside them, a boy stood protective, arms folded, his expression too hardened for his young years. Ethan's first thought was puzzlement. Why were these kids out here alone at this hour? Then he saw her. A woman in her late 20s, tall, frail, and visibly drained, stood a few steps away, her eyes fiercely guarding her children. Her jeans were worn thin, her tank top tied at the waist, and her face, it bore the weight of years without rest. Ethan recognized that look. It mirrored the one he saw in his own reflection each morning. He reached into the truck for the last energy bar he'd saved for himself. But something stirred within him, something beyond reason. He approached slowly, uncertain how to start. The boy spotted him first, standing taller, as if ready to shield his family. Ethan crouched to their level, offering the bar, and with a gentle voice asked, "Are you hungry?" The youngest girl stepped forward cautiously, her eyes wide, lips quivering, and in a faint whisper said, "Please, food." That moment shattered something in Ethan. He wasn't wealthy. He wasn't even stable, yet he couldn't turn away. He looked at the woman, whose gaze held both pride and despair. She didn't plead. She didn't speak. But her eyes, those exhausted, piercing eyes, spoke volumes. He asked if she was okay, if they needed help, and for a moment the world paused between them. Then, without a trace of emotion, she uttered 7 words that would linger with Ethan forever. "We haven't eaten in nearly 3 days." Her name was Lily. She'd been traveling with her children for weeks, fleeing an abusive ex-husband from another state. She'd abandoned everything, the apartment, the job, the few friends she had, surviving in a broken-down car parked behind a shuttered diner. Each night she wrapped her kids in thrift store clothes, praying the cold wouldn't bite too hard. She'd sought work, but with 3 children and no address, no one would take her. She had no phone, no money, no one to turn to. Yet she pressed on, not because she believed in better days, but because surrender wasn't an option. Ethan was at a loss for words. His own life was fraying. His wife had died 2 years prior in a car crash, leaving just him and Liam. He'd tried to be both parents, provider, and protector, but jobs slipped away, towns changed, and opportunities vanished like dust. Still, he'd never seen his son beg for a meal. That night, Ethan did something unexpected. He brought Lily and her children to the modest motel where he and Liam were staying. With the last of his money, he paid for their room for the night, handed them 2 gas station sandwiches and a jug of milk, and told Lily, "Rest tonight. We'll sort it out tomorrow." Sleep eluded him, not from worry, that was constant, but because something within him had changed. He saw himself in those children, his pain reflected in Lily's eyes, and for the first time in ages, he didn't feel so alone in his struggles. Over the next few days, Ethan helped where he could. He watched Lily's kids each morning so she could trek into town to find work. She landed a job washing dishes and waiting tables at a local diner, a small step, but a beginning. Ethan picked up odd jobs fixing fences and tidying yards, Liam befriended Lily's children, and laughter gradually returned to their days. But the most poignant moment came a week later. As Ethan drove Lily to her shift, she turned to him and said words that stopped his heart. "I was ready to give up that night. I told the kids we'd try one last time, and then you appeared." She wasn't speaking of destiny or chance. She meant the quiet miracle of compassion, the kind that doesn't make news, that doesn't stem from wealth or ease, but from one person seeing another and saying, "I can't solve everything, but I'll stand by you." Ethan didn't become rich. Lily didn't escape poverty overnight. But together they built something stronger, a bond rooted not in romance or convenience, but in resilience and honesty. They became family, two broken souls who didn't mend each other but supported one another to begin healing on their own. And that was enough. If this story moved you, please like the video, share it with someone who needs to know good hearts still exist, and subscribe to Kindness Tales Stories for more. True, uplifting tales that matter. Your support brings light to the darkest places. Special request. Please leave a comment and share what you would have done in Ethan's place that night. We read every comment, and your words make a difference.